Shalom Akim, Shalom Yasharallah. First off, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Natan Mashana Kabad Laha Zakwanyam Shal Yasharallah, Wa Shalom, Wa Ahab La Bakayar Shal Yasharallah. I'm going to be going into what this Fox News said, and it was put up by CNN. Real quick, let me play this clip.
When I saw this headline, I kind of laughed and I said, oh, this is so ridiculous. Yet another person claiming it's racist to have a white Santa, you know? And by the way, for all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white, but this person is just arguing that maybe we should also have a black Santa. Just because it makes you feel uncomfortable doesn't mean it has to change. You know, I mean, Jesus was a white man too, but you know, it's like, he was a historical figure. I mean, that's a verifiable fact, as is Santa. I just want the kids watching to know that.
You know, and that woman is going off saying that Jesus is a white man and, you know, not really caring about what Santa Claus looks like because he's a fictional figure. And one thing she did get right is that Yahawashi is a historical figure, you know, for all Israel. And going into the scriptures, we're gonna prove that. So we're gonna go to Revelations 1, verse 14, and it reads, "His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire." Now I know that's not enough for a lot of people. I mean, for us, you know, with the spirit that's on us, we believe. But we also have to get Daniel 7, verse 9. And it says, "And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hairs of his head like the pure wool." So then we go to see what pure wool hair looks like, and we see here what pure wool hair looks like, right? And it's going to be white hair. So more or less like this man. It's going to be white, woolly hair. So from there, let's go to Revelations 4 and 3. And it reads, "And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. A jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight like unto an emerald." So let's look up what a jasper and a sardine stone look like. Right? It's a shade of brown. And right here it says green, gray, black, white, blue, brown, red, yellow, and orange. But really, there is no white. You know, it's just different shades of brown. There's some green, some orange, you know. There's no really actual white, you know, but Esau likes to implement himself in everything. We go again to look for that sardine stone. And we see again, it's a shade of brown, right? So we know that this scripture is talking about a brown person. And round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold, right? So it's talking about the Lord. And he looked brown, right? He was a shade of brown. But from there, let's go to Daniel 10, verse 6. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. So let's look up that beryl. Right, and it's a type of impure. Right, it's a type of goldish looking, yellowish. It says, and his arms and his feet like in color of to polished brass. So now let's see what the polished brass looks like. Because you have to put all these scriptures together in order to get an image, right? You can't just pull one scripture and say it's golden. It looks more white than brown, you know. So you have to put all these scriptures together in order to get a specific type of look. Because if it has one that doesn't match another, you know, then that's contradicting yourself. So if it has a light to it, right, like a reflective type of light to it, then we get an image. But if it has something dark, right, a light skin or a white, really pale person does not have that brown skin tone. So from there, we can go to Revelations 1:15. And his feet like unto fine brass. So let's look up fine brass. Right, that's the fine brass right there. Fine brass. As if they burned in a furnace. So now let's look up burned fine brass. Right, because it's supposed to be burned. And this right here, this picture, they like to say that it's an Edomite, but all the other scriptures, they don't portray this person. If you see in this person's knuckles, you can see that light, right? So it has to be brown with certain light complected parts to it. So we see through here what burned. Let me look up burned brass. Right? That's dark. Right? This is basically what it would look like. You know, let me get all these pictures in so everybody can see what the Lord really looks like. You know, he's going to have woolly hair, right? He's not going to look like this. That is not woolly hair. He's going to have woolly hair, like crowns of gold, right? What the other people are going to look like. The Lord's going to have white woolly hair. So his hair is going to be woolly. and his face will be like a jasper stone. You know, jasper stone is a type of brown. See, it's an earthly look to the jasper stone, right? It's a type of brown. Sardine stone is also a type of brown. You see? There's going to be a type of brown. But there's going to be some gold into it, right? That light that's going to be reflecting out of it. Like that polished brass. Right? Like the fine brass. But it's going to be burnt. It's going to look like this. Right? You see some of that goldish look? That burnt look? Right? That golden reflecting out of it? With woolly hair. And to get this real quick, what did Judah look like? Right? Judah is a lion's whelp. This is Genesis 49, verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Right? Yahawashi is going to pick us back up, right? Through Judah. And this is talking about Yahawashi. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of people be. And that word is related to the Messiah. So until the Messiah comes. Let's look up that word, Shiloh. This is tranquil, an epithet of the Messiah, right? So it's talking about the Messiah. And Salakia. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until the Messiah come, and unto him shall the gathering of people be, right? We all were gathered thanks to Yahawashi, and through Yahawashi we're being gathered, all the 12 tribes are being gathered for his name. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coal unto the choice of vine, he washed his garments in wine, right? That's the when he came in with sitting on that donkey, on that ass, and he washed his garments in wine, in blood, right? And his clothes in the blood of grapes. So he was drenched in blood. He wasn't recognizable in the face of the people because they beat him so bad, until his blood was everywhere, and it was all on his garments. Also, his blood is to clean us, right? We're going to be clothed in that garment that we washed in the wine of Yahawashi. His eyes shall be red with wine, right? He's going to be angry, right? When somebody's eyes are red, or like in the cartoons, when somebody's really angry, you see their eyes turn red, right? With that anger. And his teeth, this part actually made me laugh when I was first learning about the 12 tribes, because when I first read this, the description it gave me was was of something was racial, right? Something that's racially said between all peoples. What they say about the Mexicans, that the Mexicans are lazy, that they're lazy people. But you read Issachar, and it's actually the exact opposite, right? They're making fun of us for being lazy or for taking a nap. But it tells us that we see that the rest is good and we get back to work, right? Because we're hard workers. We're actually ranked number 1 hardest workers in the world, that the Mexicans are. And that's what Issachar is, right? The hard worker. He is my hire. That's what people want. They want cheap labor. They hire Issachar. So right here, continuing on verse 10, and unto him shall be the gathering, Salaki, continuing on verse 11, verse 12. And his eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Now, who else do they make fun of when they speak about their teeth being white? You know, they don't make fun of a white person for having white teeth. They don't make fun of another person for having white teeth. The only people that they make fun of is the so-called Negroes, right? When it's dark outside and they can't see them, what do they say? Smile so I can see you, right? And why is that? And his teeth white with milk, right? Because they have white teeth, so they make fun of them for that. And it brought me to laugh, because we know Yahawashi was a dark man through the scriptures, right? The scriptures I pulled out to describe Yahawashi, and also his teeth are going to be white with milk. You know, it's telling you right here, man. I mean, he's going to be a shade of brown, right, with light reflecting out of him, with woolly hair. It's going to be white woolly hair. And, you know, he's not going to look like this. I mean, the scriptures are telling you exactly what he's going to look like. You can see it right here. He has no shade of brown, right? It's just white and shade from the sun, right? Because the sun is reflecting off of his face, so the shade is going to be on the opposite side. But here we see the description of what the scriptures are talking about, right? Woolly hair, brown, shade of brown, with, you know, light reflecting off of him. When we come here, and on the right, we don't see that. But on the left, that's exactly what we see. I hope that was edifying. This is for the Akim. With that, I'd like to say, Shalom.